Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This hearing today is another attempt by Democrats to promote and glorify abortion. And as Ms. Foster said, it is also to increase the number of abortions in this country. Earlier this year, President Biden sent a budget request to Congress that did not contain any pro-life protections. And every president since Jimmy Carter has either requested pro-life protections or signed appropriations bills into law that contained pro-life protections. Senator Biden supported the Hyde Amendment, but President Biden has bowed to pressure and renounced the Hyde Amendment. In June, House Democrats passed several appropriations bills that did not include any pro-life protections that had historically received bipartisan support. In September, House Democrats passed the Women's Health Protection Act of 2021, a misnomer, as health protection inherently does not involve the taking of a life, which would codify into federal law abortion on demand. In fact, we've heard the abortion providers and supporters testify today that this is a safe medical procedure. And yet, a safe medical procedure that has two healthy lives go into that procedure, and yet only one comes out alive, is not really health care, nor is it safe medical care. If the Women's Health Protection Act of 2021 were enacted, states would be prohibited from protecting unborn children at any stage of development. Only one Democrat voted against the bill. That's how far the Democrat Party has moved on this issue. We heard a statement in OGR by a witness. She said it again today, that abortion is a blessing, an act of love, it's freedom, unless you happen to be the baby in the womb. Then it's not so much of a blessing. Really? And yet that same witness said that when she has been stalked and she wants to make, quote, I want to make my life safer from dangerous people, close quote. She should be safer from dangerous people. I agree with that. Just like the baby in the womb should be safe from her and dangerous people just like her. So, ending the life of an unborn child should never be the easiest decision you make. Abortion is not a blessing, it's not an act of love or freedom. We should all reflect on Mother Teresa's words from her address at the National Prayer Breakfast. She said, quote, I feel that the greatest destroyer of peace today is abortion. It is really a war against the child, a direct killing of the innocent child, murder by the mother herself. And if we accept that the mother can kill even her own child, how can we tell other people not to kill one another, close quote. But the Democrat majority in this House is obsessed with abortion. It is obsessed with ensuring that states are unable to pass laws to protect the unborn. Well, we concede, not just concede, we champion. We shout from the rooftops that every life is precious and should be cherished. In fact, the Declaration of Independence says we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. They're endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You can't have liberty unless you're alive, and you can't pursue happiness unless you're alive. We must protect life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and abortion does not protect any of these rights. It destroys these rights. At the same oversight hearing, one of the witnesses referred to pro-life protections such as the Hyde Amendment as discriminatory, classist, and racist. And a member of this House stated that abortion restrictions are part of the intertwined systems of oppression that deny Black, Indigenous, and people of color of their constitutional rights. Gloria Steinem claimed, quote, I think there's a profoundly racist resistance to the continuation of the right to safe and legal abortion, and we see that in the nature of the resistors and the nature of their politics, close quote. Nothing could be further from the truth. The Hyde Amendment and other pro-life protections are not racist. They actually save lives. However, Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, was a racist, once saying, we don't want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the African-American population. And I will submit into the record the document where she said that. And yet Democrats can't stop defending Planned Parenthood. Instead of celebrating abortion, we should all be united in working to preserve life. I would ask Ms. Foster if she was here, but after 8 hours of delays today, our witness is not here for me to ask certain questions. But I can conclude, as I'm sure she would, that are we as a nation worse off because there are fewer abortions? The answer would be indeed yes. We are a stronger nation when we protect those that cannot protect themselves, such as the unborn. And Mr. Chairman, I submit to the record the following articles. One titled, Margaret Sanger founded Planned Parenthood on Racism. Another called Margaret Sanger's Racist Legacy Lives On at Planned Parenthood. And the third is remove statues of Margaret Sanger, Planned Parenthood founder tied to eugenics and racism. And I'll yield back.
Without objection, the gentleman yields back.